Dr. Rakesh Agrawal, Secretary General, Risk Management Association of India. So we welcome you all to this session on artificial intelligence and insurance industry, the way forward. So we'll be just starting in few minutes. I hope you can all hear me.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Dr. Sir.
Good evening.
We can hear you in we can hear you in Saudi Arabia also.
Achha, sir. So now we have our
Good afternoon,
Nepal
Dr.
also,
Dr.
Bangladesh
Dilip
also.
Pavitra from Jammu.
Wow. Good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, fine.
God bless you. Please start. Please do start.
Yeah, sure. Pratik ji, I think you have joined. Good morning. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, sir. Afternoon. Good to see you there. All well, I hope, sir?
Yeah, all fine.
Absolutely, sir. And let's welcome Mr. Jayantra also, sir. We have been very patiently waiting to listen to you, sir.
No, we know you're also a good speaker. I also attended a couple of your things.
It's one of those things.
Great.
So before we start the session, we will just give a brief introduction of our RMAI. So most of the members must be knowing us. Still, for the new members who have joined today, so I'll just give a brief about our association. So Risk Management Association of India is basically a global body which is dedicated to education, research and development in the field of risk management. So this organization was founded in 1992, and the basic objective of this association was to create a platform for the risk management professionals and to create a platform to exchange where members can exchange views and explore new avenues. And we keep on organizing a number of webinars, seminars, and we publish a quarterly bulletin also. So we have an online course on risk management, and we do invite a lot of research paper writing contests and collaborating with various industry bodies for research and risk management. So during the last 2-3 years, we conducted a number of seminars on different topics of interest. This is our list of our tie-ups we are having with different institutes all over India and outside India also, overseas also. Just a brief about our risk management online course on risk management. So we have enrollment from more than 7 countries in this course. So this is a 12-week course on risk management. So overall, it covers all aspects of risk management, not any industry specific. It covers an overall gamut of risk management. And we keep on adding courses to our bucket. Recently, we launched a course on Learn Generative AI. Then a specific course on banking in risk management. Then a course on motor insurance, general insurance, and we will be having more courses in coming days. This is just list of our associates and patrons. Just to inform, we have a portal. Our group is having a portal, bimabazar.com. So this is a knowledge sharing portal on insurance industry. So in this in month of April, we are relaunching this portal, and we plan to develop it as one of the biggest repository on insurance. So this portal will cover latest insurance news on a daily basis, then case laws, articles, and about consumers, and a lot of different issues. So maybe by the end of this month, you can visit this site to register. Just a list of our council members. And we have a lot of industry experts associated with us. So recently we had this academic council also. So where Mr. Prateek is member. So before starting, I'll just give a brief introduction of Mr. Jayanta Roy. So Mr. Jayanta Roy is a business leader with more than 3 decades of experience in insurance and reinsurance sector, risk financing, corporate legal solution, insurtech in India and abroad. Mr. Roy started his career with PSU Life Insurance Company and worked across geographies in India in a career spanning 14 years, handling various portfolios as underwriting, claims, reinsurance. Mr. Roy held prestigious semi-diplomatic assignment with the United Nations Development Program also. Currently, he is working for Juris Legal Services and Consultants. So this firm provides insurance and reinsurance advisory and broking services with a special focus on PLC. So with this, I'd like to invite Mr. Roy, and we will be after the session at the end we will be having a question answer session. So anybody having any query, they may put forward in chat box or they can unmute themselves. So so Mr. Roy, you can.
Yeah. So
start
thank you. So let me first connect my presentation. Okay. 1 minute. Yeah. So I think I'm audible, right, to all of you?
Yeah, audible and visible both.
And visible also. So thank you, Rakesh ji, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, it's my pleasure, and I feel really proud that Rakesh ji has invited me, the Risk Management Association of India, to address such august gathering like all of you here. And they have rightly chosen a subject, a topic that is artificial intelligence and its impact. It's a really a global importance topic, and it's a very time thing, testing. Like this is the time all of us should think of how we can do our further enhancement in our systems and all. But let me be very frank with all of you that this subject is such a vast subject with a lot of inputs we have to gather together, and such a complicated also. And first and foremost thing, I'm not an artificial intelligence expert. So whatever my experience handling this thing is the insurance. I know a little bit insurance matters with my past experiences working with the insurance companies, insurance brokers. So here actually, the timeline of 1 hour is really very short because it's such a vast subject with a lot of implications. So when you discuss the whole day, it will not be, I mean, it will not cover all other aspects. So what I do, I have made a very structured presentation. So just from a layman's point of view, I'll just prepare show some slides. And basically, I'll show some ideas like what are the trend in the industry, and what this what you call artificial intelligence will just we have to encompass today or tomorrow, like what these western countries they have done. They have long back they have started this thing encompassing this journey. So now they are in a much better positions, and maybe I'll try to also delve upon what are the current preparedness of the Indian insurers. I have got some inputs from different PSU and other companies is there. So in my entered this presentations, I'll be just running some slides, which are basically to give some idea uh, and purely from a layman's point of view, what is artificial intelligence and how it impacting our insurance life cycle. So before I start my presentation, I must say that all of you know that Risk Management Association of India, they are doing an excellent job in the areas of research, development, and what do you call it, the risk management practices. And Mr. Agarwal is one of the pioneer in this field, and all of you know him very well. He has also a lot of activities, and I know him for the last 20 years or even more. So we are both from Calcutta. So this is also another area of my pride. Like we belong to the same city. So so that's fine. So before I start this, I think give me some. It's okay, no? So now So since artificial intelligence, we have a lot of ideas like what it will be, what will be the insurance scenario in the next couple of years. So I'm just taking in a very what we are thinking that this is a new age customers, what he or she thinks maybe in the 2030, in the next 10 years time, then it is totally governed by the artificial intelligence modules. I'm just telling you one, just maybe we take you to the time machines and take you to the next 10 years. So what will be a next gen customer think about himself? So now he's suppose, for example, he's always been assisted by a digital PA, digital personal assistant. He wanted to go to a shopping mall. So those days he just ordered a cab from that digital assistant's PA, and he gets a cab, which is a fully automated mode. Like and there's no driver. He can just, the car can drive itself. But that day he decided to drive himself. So he put in on the driving mode, and his digital assistants provides him a route that read this route, he can go to that shopping mall. So then they also have some alternate route of going there, but he chooses a particular route to follow. Immediately he gets an alert, like if you choose this route, his motor insurance premium, which is called mobility insurance premium, will go by 2% because of the road is very congested. And he also gets another alert from his phone, that is life insurance. They said that your life insurance premium also will be loaded by another 3-4% because of the risk associated driving the car through this road. Because those days you don't pay the premium in advance, you pay as you live, that basis. Now he reaches the shopping mall. And interesting is, while he's parking the car, his car hits with some signage blocks and got damaged. Immediately he gets a message that his PA said, okay, you get on from the car, take photos from the damaged portions. So he just loaded these photos in the system. Within few seconds, he gets an assessment, like his claim is assessed for this much rupees or dollars, and his claim is assessed, and the amount is deposited to his account. And there is they get some message that a drone is coming to take photos and all. And there are also another message that you take the car to the nearby network garage if the car is in a position to drive, or a recovery van will come and take it. So this is the entire way of the entire cycle. Like the moment I go, take my car out, drive it, met with an accident, my claims is paid, deposit to my account, so everything. So these are the things. Some of us may think that we are in a science fiction, we are living something in a fantasy world, but this is the reality. This is what will happen in the next 10 years time, because the experts in data say that 2030 is the cutoff marks. Maybe 2031 there'll be a lot of developments takes place. Particularly, I'm talking about the developed Western countries, UK, US, particularly New Zealand, those countries. And this is how it actually takes the journey. Now, and see, now, if we go by this further discussions, if we can have the history and evolution of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, we've been experiencing since 1948-50, to be very specific. So there is a period of 50 to 80. So that time it is a very early stage of artificial intelligence. It's basically, intelligent machines. It's basically a coordination of science and engineering process. So those days we used to produce smart machines. The machines are basically, capable of capturing your data, reasoning, and all this. So there came the next stage is basically 1980 to 2010. This period you have some advancement of this thing. They call it the machine learning. The machine learning is a further stage of advanced procedures. Like there, the machines are capable enough to learn. They are basically mimicking your brain functions, like your what they call it. There's a very particular. They use the term. They call it cognitive functions. Like these machines can receive data, analyze the data, then they can even approach and that this module can produce some results and all this thing. So here an interesting story I tell you, like in 1997, all of you know that Gary Kasparov is one of the very famous chess player and also a very intelligent chess player of those period, and is the most number of undefeated championship in his So in 1997, he lost to a IBM computer, supercomputer. But the story is in 1996, Gary Kasparov won this game. And then the programmer, they wanted to know what are the, but they just enable the machines that with machine learning technology and all this. So they captured all the data of Gary Kasparov. So what is his weaknesses, strong points, winning points. So then next year they enable the machine such a way. So the Gary Kasparov lost to the IBM computers. Then come this next stage that is called the deep learning, and is a much advanced stage of what do you call the artificial engineering. What we are witnessing now, that is 2010 onwards, 2010 to 2030, 2040. This period will be a lot of development taking place, and they say it is called convolutional neural network (CNN). It is basically mimicking the function of your brain. Like it is not only capturing data, analyzing it, making predictions, but they're also giving some decision-making authority, whether this my observations are correct or not, whether it's this data I derive from this system, analyze it, making a report, and this is what whether it's a foolproof or not. That also these machines are capable of giving that forecast. So this is the stage. Now going forward, if we do like this. So the recent study that says that I tell you that AI will reshape the insurance industry over the next decade, because it's basically four technology trends that is most important here. One is the explosion of data from connected devices. Now everybody we are using the smartwatch, some car tracker, some other clothing, eyewear, shoes, everything. So there is estimate of around 1 trillion connected device by 2025. And these devices will create a lot of data, and all your personal data, like my as a person, I whatever my lifestyle management, my food habits, my exercise regime, everything will be captured into that data mode. And these companies, these carriers will have access to all this data, huge data, through this type of our connected devices. Then comes the physical robotics. Physical robotics, we have seen that a lot of use of this programming drones and some satellites. They are capturing the data, going to the very remotest corner, particularly that where any fire accident take place in some remote areas, some NatCat events take place. So these drones are sent there, and they with a lot of powerful sensors, they capture the data for all this particular purpose, and the data management. Then comes the open source data and ecosystem. So because here now the coming years will be dealing with a huge source of data, and the data storing will also be another area where we have to do a lot of compliance, may it a regulatory compliance, cyber security framework, so all these things. So that is will be one of the areas of our discussion. Then next stage is the advance in cognitive technologies. As I told before that, you have a CNN network. That CNN and all this deep learning and machine learning process with a very sophisticated learning and abilities with these machines available. So they will capture the world with the data, and their analyzing and risk analyzing skills. So I think this thing. Oh, no. 1 minute, please. Some problem there. Sorry for my goof of this. Yeah. So what is the trend which AIL will be enabling us, the insurance companies? One is the parametric insurance with IoT integration. because all of us know that automatically triggered data and these insurance policies could be triggered. And there are a lot of predefined parameters which are already stored in using this Internet of Things devices. So weather sensors could trigger payouts for crop insurance that will come. Then the next thing is the blockchain for transparency and trust. Blockchain technology could be used for that enhancing the transparency and trust in the insurance contract, and that could be used for managing the huge data and complicated data. Then comes the artificial intelligence and predictive analysis. So these are the tools which will also help them more accurate predictions for risk assessment, fraud detection, customer behavior analysis. Then comes the behavior-based premiums. So as I rightly told you, like the very recent study of Swiss Re, what they are doing, they have a module called this life and health segment. So they are actually analyzing the person's individual behavior, like what is my lifestyle, what is my food habit, what is my other activities, and accordingly they are making some very specific policies covering their lifestyle. And like for example auto insurance premiums and their other so they basically they designed in such a way like my driving habits, whether I'm a rush driver or I'm a very significantly I drive well with maintaining this traffic guidance and all. So these are the thing will be there. Then comes the micro insurance. Microinsurance also offering a lot of policies tailored to specific events or activities. In fact, in Indian market, I think it will be more of use in the Indian market, but you have the personalized microinsurance products. Then you have the on-demand insurance. Like for example, it's a very popular in US market, like renting a car or using a shared mobility services. You can all these type of policies are there. As and when you require, these policies can be designed. Then comes the cognitive computing for customer interaction. So here you can have the very complex customer interactions, personalized assistance, answering queries, and even anticipating customers' needs. Then we have the automated claim processing with AI and image recognition. The claims could be submitted and processed through AI-powered platforms, and see the use of image recognition to assess damages and process claim faster. Usage-based insurance for health and wellness. So like whatever my particular lifestyle and all these things, the insurance companies can devise policies focused on my wellness and the data they collected from various wearable and other tracking devices. Then you have the climate risk insurance. Climate related risk becomes more significant. Like for example, depending on my this area of where this the climates what we call could emerge to cover climate related damages and disruptions. Augmented reality. These are all for, particularly for any risk assessment, these AR tools will be used in such a way so that you get more accurate data, evaluating property damages, assessing the safety of a workplace. And it will be actually more good for, assessing your hazardous factories, chemical factories, where this type of tools can be used for better and more manageable way of the risk assessment. Then you have the robotics for risk mitigation and claims handling. So these are, you have the programmable drones. So we are now using it at the site of the accidents and site of the where this any disasters take place, and for a good tool of risk mitigation or any risky environments you can inspect. Like you go for a very high risk hazardous chemical industry, you can use this type of robotics for a proper and accurate risk inspection, rather than physically going there and exposing to the risk. And claims and other disaster management response also, these machines can handle here. Then comes peer-to-peer insurance platforms. So peer-to-peer insurance, it's a wonderful idea. It started in US a couple of years back. The company called Lemonade, they started this. So here basically all these companies, they put together what they call a digital platform. They put their money there, and their maximum exposure is the money they put in. Say, for example, there are 10 players, and I pay say say $10 million to that wallet. And so my risk is not exposing more than $10 million. So then we say that 10 players, we put $100 million, and rest of that all small claims can be settled from that pool money. If any particular year that there is a more frequent claims and the entire money is exhausted, then we go for a reinsurance. So we have the first layer of $100 million, and then maybe another $500 million we can take it from the reinsurance. So the reinsurance pay your claim when it exceeds that your primary layer. So then this genomic and health data in life insurance, a lot of advances there, and this enable insurers to get generic and health data. Now there are a lot of research going on. In fact, I've seen that a couple of I forget the name. This is in one of the very famous US medical colleges. They are not doing this genome syndrome plus. There's certain study that genetic study. So that will tell you in advance whether you have any cancerous cell in your body or any genetic, what you call it, defect that could lead to some other diseases, and we can get up some forecasting of your disease management also. Then you have the virtual reality training for insurance professionals. Maybe the current days there will be no such physical existence of all these things. That we have the virtual training mode where the simulate environments enhancing their skills in risk assessment, claims handling, and customer service. Then underwriting and risk assessment. These are the way this you can have very accurate underwriting and risk assessment modules where the insurance company can have the very informed underwriting decisions, and they can predict claims probabilities based on historical data. Like for example, all these modules can be tested and you can have the historical data for the last 200 years, last 100 years. You can sense a particular area, whether it is a very NatCat prone or from flood and other activities are very frequent activities. So you can get those details, study it, analyze it, and then it can give a very focused your informations, and based on that you can take a very decision, a decision whether to go, not to go. Then comes the claim processing. Claim processing will be definitely there will be a streamlined and the claim process by automotive documenting process and fraud detection and claims validation. Because in the AI-enabled systems, it will actually reduce a lot of repetitive functions, like a lot of functions we are manually doing. That's a lot of time. So this will be all actually could be avoided. And we have the natural language processing can extract information from claims and policy document much faster. Like there were some scanners which particularly, for example, when you go for a policy document, it says 35 pages, with 1,000 lines and all these clauses, conditions, warranties. So this system enabled process can view this policy document terms, conditions in seconds. They can also even read that claim forms submissions and what are the and then it can be a very faster process of claims validation. Then, of course, the fraud detection, it is also possible that machine learning identify patterns where the fraudulent claims are helping insurers, and they can even combat some fraudulent activities. And real-time monitoring of transactions and behavior can alert insurers to suspicious activities. Then comes the customer service and chatbots. So now I think we have all these companies are using some AI-generated chatbots where you get this customer feedback on real time, answering questions, customers' queries, customers' grievances, whatever just put in. So all the chatbots are enabled, artificial intelligence enabled them that all the answers and the probable questions and their resolutions are fed in. So they get real-time answers and the 24/7 scenario, support scenario. You have the virtual assistants, so they can provide support at any point of time, maybe at the midnight, early in the morning. So that there is no human intervention in it. So once these programs are enabled, the customers can get service at any point of time. Then, of course, you can have personalized policies. So all your requirement can be structured as per your own needs. It can be a tailor-made policy. Depending on your requirement, on your personal needs, personal habits, and everything. And at the same time, you can also have the very dynamic pricing models. You can have adjustment premiums based on changes, customer behavior, and circumstances. So predictive analysis, there are also some trend what this our new next gen customers, next gen insurance companies can provide these services. All this predictive analysis, future trends, events, aiding the insurers making a very strategic decisions. Like for example, we can tell our insurance companies like whether they want to venture in some of the new products, So currently, what I feel that Indian insurance companies they lack data. They don't have historical data and their overall assessment of the data and all this. So maybe they can take some strategic decisions whether they can go out some in other venture, they can venture in some other markets, new trends, product development, and investment strategies. Accordingly, they can plan for. Now we have the telematics and usage-based insurance. I think some insurance companies are already using that. They have IoT devices, telematics data. They are monitoring the driving behavior, allowing insurers to offer personalized and auto insurance based on actual usage. These are more into the US market. We get there's a lot of products which is based on your personal behavior and driving history. Then health monitoring and wearables. You know that you have all these wearable devices are there. Once you use a wristwatch, a smartwatch, that monitors your blood pressure, your heartbeats, your daily lifestyle management, what you do, what you eat, how many hours you sleep. So all these things put together, you get ensures actual health data, and you can also access and monitor them on real time. Then you come the image and video analysis. So where use all the property damage claims can be. We have a very this type of facilities on video analysis, video recordings. So this thing will help assessing your claims much faster. Also, accident and disaster management, we can have a full control record. And the next important thing is a reinsurance and risk management. As I told you earlier, that reinsurance will be very, very what do you call benefited by these type of arrangements. So the data, it is all that can be stored with them in advance. They can analyze the data and their entire portfolio, like whatever the business they write across various line of business. There can be a potential area of risk concentration, the accumulation of risk. So they can identify different areas where my risk is getting accumulated. Particularly, it will be very useful in Indian market for the GICD because they write they are the treaty leaders for all these insurance companies put together. So they can monitor where is a particular area, a particular line of business where the risk is getting concentrated or more accumulation of risk. So these are the things they can accordingly they can manage their portfolio very profitably. Of course, the regulatory compliance is there. We need to have all this complex and changing regulatory compliances, the data privacy, all these things need to be, under proper control. Then automated document processing is there. There are a lot of, process. We can avoid a lot of repetitive process, large volume of documents, contracts, and policies. It can be stored. In fact, I'll be just very recently, I was just going through this presentation. They're saying the data storing. Data storing is also very important, how the data is stored. Now they're using, because earlier we were using that all these magnetic tapes and all this thing with floppy disk to preserve our data, store their data. Now there is a new trend is there. Like recently that I was going through a study of this Microsoft. They're using the Azure AI-based technology, and they just storing the data on a glass, a squared glass, and such a small piece of storage. And this data can be stored for more than 10,000 years, and this is very safe. And there is no such climate and other problems because there is no such electromagnetic and other thing is very susceptible to damages and all. And they can store, I think, 1.75 trillion TB data, which is equivalent to 3,500 movies we can play continuously for 6 months. So these are the trend in data management. Then, of course, the market analysis and customer insights. We have a lot of customer data connect, and we can do a lot of customers feedback, and their feedback can be help you in the product development and marketing strategies. Then come the natural disaster prediction response. This is already some work is going on, like the programmable drones and some satellite. They are taking the images and viewing the data for the last 20 years, 30 years, like a particular flood prone area, with the cyclone prone area, the earthquake prone area. So you can get all the data sources, and you can accordingly you can predict what will be the natural disasters. Is there any natural disasters coming? So this will also help the number insurers to prepare and to respond accordingly. So now this is very important that AI will not actually will have the same impact on the same on different value chains. So this is a study done by this Sri and Antonio Grasso. Once you see the product management, there are low, medium, and significant impact. So AI will impact significantly on the actual process and product pricing. Marketing is market research and analysis, market promotion. Sales and distribution is only account and contract management, because here the AI can be a very significant, change, affecting changes. Underwriting and risk management is risk analysis and risk monitoring. So these are the area where AI can significantly help assist building a robust system and modules. Then contracts and portfolio management is there, policy acquisition. Claims is, of course, there are claims validation, claims assessment, fraud management, claims abrogation. It will help significantly. Then who comes finance and accounts. It is statement preparation and remittance processing. So there is 10 guiding principles that they say that AI, this has to be, a proper, when our implementation is there, there has to be a proper way and enough care to be taken for doing all this when we apply our the applications of AI. So they also studied from the Antonio Grasso and Swiss Re. They said first human applications. So human dignity is one AI is actually used. They must protect the human dignity and the fundamental freedoms. So whatever you do without compromising the what do you call the compliance with requirements, including the driving fairness and transparency, and dignity cannot be compromised at any level. Then the laws and regulations. So whatever we apply, all our applications, AI governance and all, it has to be compared within the local regulatory laws and framework and regulations. Everything we have to comply with. Then set all risk mitigation. So it is setting up adequate analytic and all risk management framework and related processes. Then internal and external transparency. That is most important. So that can be fostered explainability. So whatever you do, there has to be, applicable to help stakeholders. So take all their engagement, make a very informed decisions, and then at the same time you have to also protect the privacy, confidentiality, and security. So these are the very basic and essentials. Then the data protection. Data protection is another area where you have to have the protection protocols, the cyber security, standardized systems, and paramount importance to them. So consent to use the data and data quality. So these are the top priority and key factor to succeed with this AI. Then comes the clarity on where and how AI in combination with human process, because it is not possible that only AI will take over. There has to be a proper coordination between the human and the machines learning and the human interactions. It should be always in a proper way, so balancing each other's act. Then comes the understanding the limitations of AI, because you have to understand that in the entire customer journey, human input might remain invaluable in some cases where you have to understand the critical use of AI and its implications. So that needs to be addressed. Then coming to upskilling existing workforce. Like, for example, the coming days, it will be there that whenever you go work for the companies, your AI literacy is most important. So I have 30 years experience in the field. That I may be redundant, because my exposure to AI handling and AI enabled machines are not there. And if I'm not if I'm the AI illiterate, my vision will not be there. So it is more of more and more you have to upskill your existing employee force, and then you have to take them grow with the business so that it helps your fulfill your requirement. Then independent internal and external control. They need a lot of control within the stakeholders and other additional independent adjustments. And then has to be a proper way and policies at the board level. Then continuous dialogue with all stakeholders, because application of AI and it has a lot of implications in the social and socio-economic segment. So that you have to take into considerations, and you have to whenever all these stakeholders' interest must be protected. and there has to be a proper what do you call it? Everybody is on the same page of when this you apply this AI in a particular industry, particularly insurance. So this is the generative AI, and this is the new innovations which we'll be witnessing in the next couple of years' time, or something is already there, like risk scenarios and simulations, image and video reconstruction, virtual insurance agents. In fact, going forward, maybe the next 5 years down the line, we don't have any physical agents to sit in the office. Maybe we don't need any physical office as well. So all this, your virtual agents can take calls, attend to the customer's demand, attend to the customer's request, uh, and they can provide a lot of valued services, which maybe in the normal process a human agent may not provide. So you have the automated content generations. I think this currently it is already there with some of the private companies. They have this thing. Once particularly you renew a particular policy, you buy a new policy in the field of motor health and house policy. So we can get this automated policy once the payment, once you identify your particular risk which you want to cover, and then once you make the payment, you get automated policy generated and coming through email. Then automated claim descriptions is also there. There are some modules which selects your claims, and once claims are, you get automated response from this that your claims has been submitted, claims has been assessed, and claims has been paid. In fact, in the US, Lemonade is the company who they have the history of what do you call it, making the claim payment in just a few seconds. Some, of course, auto claims and some house-related claims, they have settled in some minutes. So they have already made a very good progress in this. Maybe in the coming days, India will also have some functionality and abilities. Then you have the loss adjustment reports. So these are the very important areas where you do a lot of pioneering job here in this, where the AI-enabled modules and can help, and this adjustment reports we can get faster on a real-time basis. Then you have the personalized marketing content, whatever your marketing contents, promotions, branding, everything is it can be quoted and you can get it. Next very important thing is the actual modeling. As I told you earlier, that actual modeling, they have the historical data for say 50 years, 60 years, 100 years. And then this thing can be done in a much, much more professional way. Then automated incident reconstruction, the claim narratives, natural language generations. These are the some trend which is coming into this in our day-to-day application in the next couple of years' time. So it is perceived socioeconomic impact. What is what will happen if when it is there? So one, we see that enhanced customer experience. So now with this AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistants, so basically customers they can get 24/7 support anytime, anywhere, any moment, and addressing all their queries, concerns promptly, and much faster, and that will be definitely increase the customer satisfaction. Then customized insurance products. So now there is no because even this India also the tariff advisory committee recommendations and all these products pricing, all these things are gone away because there's a recent IIT circulars. They said that from 1st of April, all the insurance company can design their own products. There is no policy wording to be followed, no pricing to be followed. So this will actually help us when we have a full-fledged AI-enabled modules and systems where all the customer data can be analyzed, and we can offer a personalized insurance policies which will only suit to their requirements. And it will, of course, insurance coverage and financial protection will also enhance because we can identify the areas of his needs, financial needs, and the exposures, risk exposures. Improved risk assessment is the area because we get a lot of more accurate premium pricing, and it could, of course, benefit the customers, reducing the premiums for low risk individuals. Because now, once we have a tariff regime, we have a fixed premium we are charging for both the high risk people and the low risk individuals. So here at least we have the liberty to identify the low risk individuals and can offer them a very lower premium at a very wider coverages that is there. Then you have the efficient claim processing. This is also area where the AI-enabled services can faster and more accurate claim processing, and of course reduce the timeline. And as I told you that in US market, this companies like Lemonade, they're setting motor claims, house claims in just seconds, in few seconds or in few minutes. So, and of course, their way, the other thing, it will of course take some time in Indian market. Then the fraud detection and prevention is area where AI could help immensely. The areas of fraudulent claims and any mischievous activities that can be identified, so that the legitimate customers they receive their rightful compensation, and all this fraudulent claims can be rejected. Yeah. Now, innovation and insurtech growth. India is such a market, like there are a lot of, I think, engagements and going on, deliberations going on. And a lot of companies also started up in the last couple of years. They are mainly focusing that innovation and insurtech market in the Indian subcontinent. So there'll be a lot of new opportunities, job creation, and I think several $1 million of investments is also coming in these startups. Then skill upgradation and job transformation. It is a very important thing. Like when the AI is fully implemented, so it will take care of at least thousands of millions of jobs, which are routine job. So we need to also at the same time upskill our workers, our workforce, our employees, so that they are capable of handling AI tools and technologies. And so this will also a new area of there will be a lot of new jobs also be created, and when at the same time we are also removing a lot of repetitive jobs and all this help desk, the claim assistant, underwriting assistants, all this type of jobs will be there will be no such necessity, so that your AI enabled modules can do it very nicely. Then you have a data driven decision making. So this is the area where the AI-generated insights and all this informations they captured over the period of time, it can be a better allocation of resources and better strategic planning. So they can get a more informed decisions about a particular risk, about a particular exposure. Then is a pricing, everything, this actual modeling. So all this thing will help them take a very informed decision, which will be beneficial to the clients as well. Then, of course, the reduced operating cost. Because all this automation process, which will actually reduce or repetitive activities, and faster the processing of claims, underwriting, financial operations. So this will be a very actually less cost for the insurance companies. In fact, there's a recent study of Swiss Re that they said that if all these modules are in place and all this automated process take place, so in the next 5 to 6 years time, the operating cost will come down by 40%. So this is what they have predicted. Then, of course, there are a lot of financial inclusion program can also be achieved. Population who lack conventional credit histories, promoting financial inclusion. So these are basically for the rural and semi-rural areas, where a lot of customized product, depending on their particular habitation, a particular people and particular class of thing that can be also created. So the rise of microinsurance, we see that a lot of microinsurance products are now developing, covering the lower stage of the economy. So those people and targeting mostly the rural areas. Then you have the regulatory challenges and consumer protection. So these are the very important areas, like all the regulatory considerations, challenges related to data privacy, transparency, and accountability. It has to be maintained. And we have to ensure that a proper regulation can protect all consumers. Because, whenever we are enabling these systems, we get a lot of personal data of all the customers. We get a lot of personal data, all the financial information. So everything is actually procured and stored. But you have to also be at the same time, there has to be a proper regulatory framework that ensures that our data is safe, protected, and not misutilized for bad purposes. Then we have a more efficient and innovative insurance industry, contribute to more economic growth, stability, and of course, proper risk management, entrepreneurship, and supporting investments. health and wellness incentives are also there, because it will also assist you or AI-based models that you can incentivize the policyholders. And you can there are a lot of projects can be undertaken, like you monitor their activities, monitor their lifestyle management, and suggest what do you call it, a very holistic lifestyle. And if they follow, then discount their prices. You make some innovative changes in your products. So there is some indication that by 2030 there will be significant changes across insurance value chain. So one is there. They said that distribution, underwriting, pricing. These are the main key areas of the insurance activities, like the distribution, underwriting, pricing, and claims. So distribution, they said that it will be a huge activity and much faster decision making. So purchasing insurance is just a minutes, not even minutes, few seconds, because you have all this AI algorithms, risk profile, you have cycle times, you get you also get the customer choice, like what is personal choice, purchase time of an auto commercial life policy that can be in a few seconds. You can just choose. You have a digital platform to choose these policies, and you can do that. I think this India that IIT has introduced that this Bima Shugam. There is a digital platform where you can these things can be done, but not like the way this that is happening in the Western market. This underwriting and life carriers, they can understand the risk much better. In fact, recently, today only, I was just going through one of my LinkedIn connects. He posted, like in the life insurance sector, there's a first year policy. So many people, they pay the premium first year, and second year onwards, they can't continue. It may be the financial disability or some mis-selling. So he identified, but unfortunately, no life insurance companies, including IRDA, they do not have a very systematic and trustworthy data. Like how many policies are they actually, what do you call, how much money is stored there, how much money is picked by LIC and all this. So he gets some rough estimate that saying that LIC together is around 8,200, and other private sector life insurance companies another 9,000 crore. So almost 17,000 crore of money, it is actually lying with all the life insurance companies. This is the first year's policy, because the currently no insurance company has any AI-enabled modules to capture those data, analyze, and to make it a management report. So I think that going forward, this will be a very, very useful analytic tools that this company can make this type of informations available to the public, and they can take policy decisions. Now you see that in the coming days there will be highly dynamic usage-based insurance products. So here you can take this policy, like for your car, you can design this policy, pay by right models for car sharing. Then when you go for this home insurance in US, they have if you do not stay there, you pay only when you stay. But with the renters, condos, all this, these are the Airbnb, so they can do it much faster and in a better way. Then another area will be the role of insurance agents. As I told you earlier, that there may not be a physical agents, maybe a very few, because it will be substituted by these virtual agents. And the virtual agents are available 24/7, anytime, any moment. And they are all powered with attending the customer's call, queries, because, they can look like a digital personal assistant to optimize their task. And it will be also beneficial to the clients. So underwriting and pricing, and pricing will be very dynamic, because of all this module will help you take very informed underwriting decisions. Your underwriting decision can be taken in few seconds, not like a few days to study, document, getting the claims data, analyzing it. So these are all, all these modules can, in minutes time, give you a very, structured information. So it will be, and then also, of course, the pricing will be very dynamic, and you can make a very conscious decision that whether this particular risk is what you call that merits further discounting, or there will be areas where you can even tell the customers to improve the risk parameters. So there are a lot of advantages are available, which is also within the pricing and get a rich assessment of risk, empowering consumers to make decisions about their actions, influencing coverage, insurability, and pricing. So come to the next claims. Claims processing in 2030 and onwards will remain a primary function, but it will be a lot of advantage because all this enabled AI-enabled machines that will capture the technologies, drones largely replace traditional manual methods. So all the right from the notice of loss, claim reporting, then all the servicing, everything will be triggered automatically under just a push of one button, and then everything is data is collected, processed, and submitted to the insurers for taking a decision. So this way it will also remove all the fraudulent claims and other suspicious activities. So there will be the TAT will be significantly improved than the current thing, and all the complex and unusual claims where where you need the human focuses, human management control. But all the traditional and routine claims that can be totally done by these modules, right from reporting to settlement and credit to the insurance account with this new technology. And now, particularly this model will be very helpful for the large catastrophic claims, where you have the drones and all this, internet-enabled services, satellites, network drones. So they will monitor the entire activity. Particularly, suppose, for example, in an earthquake or a devastated particular areas. So all the cars and the households, so that can be monitored on a real time, and then they will also have a highly accurate loss estimation, which are really very reliably filed in a real emergency. And these reports are also, immediately processed and passed to the insurers for the capital flow. You remember the recent earthquake in Turkey. So it's a huge amount of houses, cars, and other things got damaged. So this type of what do you call it, our modules, AI-enabled modules, will definitely help assessing this large catastrophic claims in a much faster way, and it will be a real benefit to the victims. So these are the data source information credit. We have got a lot of management reports, McKinsey, Swiss Re, and Tapestry networks. And here actually now I was sharing some of the Indian insurance companies. What do you call it? What their preparedness? I got some just a few minutes back. I got some data, like I'm sharing you. 1 minute, sure. This is the information I got from AIG, that is agricultural insurance company. One of the very senior people shared with me. In fact, I asked them, given in this artificial intelligence platform, what are your company's preparedness for embracing AI into their services, vision for AI-enabled modules, capabilities, etc. So he just responded that they use satellite and atmospheric data indices, and by use of Python, generate stochastic model simulations for 10,000 years loss history for pricing and indemnity fixation. AI is used in a way to analyze the data pixels based on historic and current ground truthing info. So of course, so they have some preparedness compared to other companies. So all the public sector insurance companies, they have their I tell you, I also get some like particularly they have done some introduction in the motor claims. So they said that all motor claims they have AI-enabled agencies modules, and the losses up to 50,000 rupees based on AI technology. This is an initiative taken by GIPSA for all this 4 public sector insurance company, and now they are fully operational. But what my understanding is that when I interacted with all these senior executives of the 4 non-life insurance companies, that they have no such vision as the Western countries have, like they are planning to do what they are implementing in the next couple of years. So they are just going for some very systematic changes, maybe not in a very with that high scale as they as the other companies doing, but of course they are planning to do something there. So so this is all from my side. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Roy, for the interesting presentation. I think we can now open the session for any discussion. So we can discuss about any questions or queries that we may be having. And we have a intelligent panel here, so they may share their experiences also. If
Yes,
anybody
please.
has.
Yes.
You can stop the sharing.
Yeah.
Hello, Jayanta sir. This side Sanchit. Am I audible?
Yeah. Please. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Sir, I come from the technology background, from the Capgemini
Yeah.
technology consulting
Yeah.
firm, and I have a question of the how the AI will impact intermediary market overall in the world. How do you see that? Because the brokerage firms or agency firms, the big firms,
Yes.
using this technology will be highly dependent on the insurance company, specific insurance company. Having the AI technology for themselves will be very difficult because it requires a huge investment as well. So, how do you
Right.
see the impact overall from the operational perspective?
It's a very relevant question. In fact, I have seen this initiative already taking place in some of the MNC brokers. So they have, their internal what you call modules. They use that. So they capture the what do you call the information of their clients, and they are all also using the different AI enabled modules, like to know a particular line of business, what are the trends. But you may not find this type of activity very frequent in the Indian scenario because of the because Indian intermediaries are totally they operate in a very different background, not like their counterpart in US and other developed countries, because here everybody is bogged down with pricing. So instead of managing a risk, both the intermediary and the clients, their primary target is to reduce the premium. So it is not a risk management at all, and everything the entire this cycle is actually influenced by the pricing, how much price we can offer. Even the role of a broker, be it a very big MNC broker or a this very small intermediary, the first question they ask, how much reduction in premium you can offer. It is not that we were not here to manage my risk, design a particular insurance product for me, or managing that my risk is well protected. So these are the consideration. It come secondary. The first thing they ask you, because this is my experience working in the intermediary segment for last 7-8 years. So when I worked abroad, I had a very different understanding of the intermediary roles. But if you ask me this question, I'll ask in fact, this is my personal view, and I have experienced that. So from that point of view, of course, no intermediary will invest money for because but it is very easy to talk about the artificial intelligence and its usages, but at the same time, it is also very expensive. You have to have a business plan for that. Yes, we have to invest this much of money for this year, and this will result in some more acquisition of business, acquisition of clients, and this thing. So so this is my opinion. So does it serve your purpose, or do you have any other opinion?
Yes,
Let me know.
no, I hear you. I think it is completely aligned because uh, it's not easy to implement AI as well. It requires a
Exactly.
different
Yes.
skill set. And just to share in this forum, one more thing: whatever we talk about any technology, it takes at least 5 to 10 years to get maturity
Yes.
in that.
Yes.
Whenever we talk about digital payment system as well, or whosoever US has developed or whatever, India is leading in that one. India, they are not even implemented end-to-end banking system or insurance system when it comes to technology. It will take years.
Yes.
It may have the impact like the Swissity report which you have shown,
Yeah.
low
Yeah.
impact, high impact, and that's how I think may move forward. Thanks for sharing your information.
Yeah, you are very correct, because if you see on the contrary, all the technology company in India, they are working. The 99% of the clients are US and other developed countries insurance company. So they're not working for any Indian insurance companies. You talk about TCS, you talk
That's
about
true. Correct.
Cognizant and all, because I know some of my friends are there in TCS. They're working on this AI-enabled modules. So all their clients are UK and US-based large insurance companies. So we Indians are working developing these modules for them, but not a single insurance company, because these are all very expensive thing, because Indian companies may not have the what do you call it, budgetary allocations, and may not have that immediate idea, because I've been talking to some of not some of all the PSU companies, their CMDs and general managers. So they said they have some plan, but that is not as aggressive as the Western countries following. Maybe a very simple, but just some. I think they're basically what they're investing in is basically some digital platform where you can have your different, all these OTC products can be lined up, and people can buy it paying some online mode of payment. Yeah. So any
Mr.
next
Roy,
question, please?
Mr. Roy, you can stop the screen sharing so we can have interact directly. And just stop the screen sharing.
Is it okay?
No, I think in the
Yeah, is it okay
bottom.
now?
No, it is still coming. You need to just stop the sharing.
I think some problem.
Okay.
Where it is. I think some problem in my thing. Yeah.
Okay, no issue.
Yeah, is it
No
fine
issue.
now?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Sorry. There's a lot of this hiccups. Yes, please.
Sir, if you may permit, I have my
Yeah,
2 cents to
please.
add to what you were talking about. Jantarai sir, you see, the fact is that India is one of the most regulated markets when it comes to insurance and financial dealings. If I want to make a single change in the entire structure, probably it will take a decade. Having said that, almost a decade and a half, one of the prominent general insurance companies came out with a tagline that they were going to use technology to the hilt and ensure that the common man gets the benefit out of it. Now, when I use the word technology, I'm using it loosely because it also includes, apart from artificial intelligence, something like machine learning or maybe a blockchain technology or things like this. We are almost 14 years away since it started off, and of course, in the midway, many insurers have also started doing it. I was trying to get a point when Mr. Mittal asked this question about the intermediaries. You see, because the problem is that when an employee comes to an insurance company or to a broking company, he has learned certain things and therefore he's there. Now, the broking company or the insurance company tells the client, fine, you better unlearn what you have learned and then relearn what we are asking you to do. Now, this involves a lot of money. So therefore, the intermediaries, I'm sure, would lose out on this. Yeah. Maybe some of the insurers might gain some area out there. Having said that, my question is very simple, sir. You see, at the end of all these activities, apart from whatever you had enumerated, the most important being client satisfaction and client enlightenment. The fact is that, do you actually see the insurance penetration increasing?
In fact, that is possible maybe when this, if you go by the IRDS thing, that 2047 insurance for all. So that is the slogan, and I think all insurance companies being targeted. Like you have to, go to the nook and corners and increase your insurance masses. So, but I'm not really very sure, because whether we are this way, we are really having this thing, because until unless we have a specific insurance products which serve the client. Say, for example, you have to identify their, like, example, some the rural masses. These people, they cannot feed their own daily 2 quarts of meal. So how they will buy insurance? How they'll buy the insurance for all this thing? So until unless there is a very particular product that takes care of their requirement, I'm say living in a very rural, there is no electricity, no drinking water, nothing. So my requirement cannot match with a person I'm sitting here in a air-conditioned room on 20th floor in a metropolitan city. So until unless we identify the areas where a particular habitation there, particular lifestyle is there, and we customize this insurance for them, which is help their purpose. Like then it's immaterial. Like say for example that what do you call that, your crop insurance. Crop insurance, there are a lot of subsidies now taking place. But you tell me all these remote areas where you have, even suppose I'm a farmer having a 10 acres of land, I do, but my earning is not sufficient to buy an insurance policy, paying even 500 rupees in a year. So how we take this thing? How we can afford to do this?
Sir,
Pratikji,
let me add.
how much insurance policy we are able to sell through online? I think it is hardly 1%.
And that's what I'm telling you. No, no. In fact, Rakeshji, we are selling this product only to a particular class. They're all middle class people having this good set of earning, and maybe some HNI people, like I
So
buy
we
my
can't,
policy through.
so we can't expect that by launching Bima Sugam or similar initiative, we will have penetration on all India and achieve 100% figure. So that is a very, very big challenge.
Absolutely.
Even if in
Exactly.
US, if in US you see, the 50% of the business comes from insurance agents. So still
Agents,
in
yes.
developed countries also, it is not that AI has taken over, technology has taken over. So you need to have manual intervention. Insurance is such a product. It is not that you just
Exactly.
log in and it will be sold. So not that easy to increase penetration through AI.
So, sir, it is still
And
a push
Pratik ji,
product in
just
India,
to
actually.
supplement your thing, like for example, it is only possible when our people who's staying in the very remotest part of the country, they need to afford this. There should be affordability. If there is no affordability, I cannot manage my 2 quarts of meal. How can I afford to pay a premium for this thing? So it's for the paying insurance premium is for some sort of luxury to me. So there should be some government scheme and government support system, and where and I need to also customize my requirement. I'm staying in a hut, and a person staying in a 5-star accommodation. The requirement cannot be the same. So
No,
we need to also
and sir,
devise those type of micro insurance policies, programs, and make these people affordable. This, if they can afford to buy this insurance.
and
Otherwise,
actually
this will
speaking,
remain a slogan. I mean, it will be a good political slogan, like we'll do by this time we do, but it will never happen. And AI will not help you, because AI, the
correct,
cost of AI modules
correct.
will not subside your this cost of this your procuring premium, because premium will be very small amount for them.
And that is precisely why insurance still remains a push product in our country.
Yes, it is there.
Sir, I have one question, sir. I'm Manoj here, Jain
Yeah,
Dada.
please.
I mean, I'm also from the old school, and we have been taught about the insurance being a cooperative arrangement where the pricing is done on the basis of cohort-based pricing, and there is an element of cross-subsidy. Now, going by this data, granular data, we are going to the individual level. So how don't you see the contradiction? Should we call this is an insurance business? Because I will be priced directly on the basis of my risk profile. There will be no cross subsidy. There will be no cohort based pricing. तो इंश्योरेंस का तो कंसेप्ट ही खत्म हो गया ना?
हो गया तो. Because you remember when we started our this insurance careers 35 years back, late 80s, we had the first thing was that it is basically what you said, that you collect premium from 100, in case of claim, pay claims to 10. And so it is basically like we don't even this thing. We say whatever premium collected, based on that is a we just only few people get claims. But here now, once we have all these AI-enabled systems in place, like now people are basically now insurance will be focusing on your individual. Like Manoj Pandey, you have a different lifestyle, you have a different food habits, you have a different.
Then we have to define.
So,
we have to define insurance in a different way.
Yes.
Then
yes.
इंश्योरेंस वही होगी कि अपनी डफली अपना राग आप रिस्की हैं तो
नहीं,
आप खुद अपना प्रीमियम दीजिए, दूसरे
वो
आपको
तो
हेल्प
नहीं
करने
होगा
वाले
फिर,
नहीं
because
आने वाले।
here it is, basically the basic concept is collect from 100 and pay claims to 10. This is the simple, concept of insurance, but will not be possible when we have all the details. You are saying we have a customized policy. They say, okay, I need a policy. I take, these are the thing of my choice. So I need that. You may not need those policies, or those coverage. Pratik ji may not need those things. He said, I need something different. So it will be there. It will this debate will always there.
Absolutely.
What will be? In fact, another thing actually, the time constraint I couldn't have to mention here because of the time constraints. Because this all the AI applications, how long and how far it is sustainable in Indian markets? Because you have to think of a lot of other socioeconomic factors. Because it is for sure that once all these insurance companies are fully AI enabled, there will be the thousands and millions of jobs will be redundant. We don't need a PA, we don't need a data entry operator, don't need a claim assistant, writing assistant, all this. So can India afford to have all this? There will be millions of jobs will be cut in one go. Of course, the other side, yes, there will also creation of new jobs, but creation of new jobs will be only for very high skilled employee. Like person like me, I was a CEO of 35 years of experience. I'll be redundant if I'm not a AI literate. People will say, Mr. Rai, please go. We don't need you. What are your underwriting experience? You managed large losses, all this thing. My AI thing can get you much accurate and much more thing. So why you pay over $60,000 or something like that, please? So that's I'm telling you. So here, so okay, I'm 59 years, so I can afford to sit at home. But for a lot of people, particularly those who are at the middle age, they're into underwriting because the another also the Swiss they have this thing. They say by 2030, at least 23 to 24% jobs will be redundant in underwriting and claims. So it's a huge impact on the Indian population.
Sir,
So-
actually, the situation is very simple. If we cannot add value to whatever is going on, you are redundant.
Exactly. So now, in fact, this maybe I can just give me 2 minutes. There's some interesting study. It's called Insurance Governance Leadership Network. There is a comprising of around 30 or 40 very senior executives of insurance, UK, US, all these companies, and the company called EOI, and there's another company, the management company was there. So they are basically interacting with all these challenges of AI implementation. So a lot of studies was there. So one of the interesting study was the future of work. So some of the observation was that the nature of job will change. So what we are doing it now, the job will be totally redefined. They say it is not the job, but it is a skill, number of tasks you have to perform. So whatever your experience as a specialist, say underwriter, claims, or all this reinsurance, that will go. So until unless you know this task and know that, and this task is actually skilled with your AI literacy and all this, so you're redundant. So they very interesting revelation. They said that all this and there will be no full-time employment. There is no full-time employee. It is all the task-based. Like I'm here, and this also it may not be a, say for example, I say 40 years in one organizations with pride and all, those concepts are gone. Even you may not be there for say 4 months, because by 4 months they are a new module. So if you're not adapted to those changes and to those skills and activities, you are redundant. And they said, yes, that's fine.
We have a question from Mr. Tanmay. Mr. Tanmay. Okay.
He is muted, sir.
You can just unmute, Mr. Tanmay.
Okay. Good evening to everybody. First of all, thanks to Mr. Jayantorai regarding the detailed description you have made. But I have some little bit of query into this. Somebody already has asked a question about the intermediaries. I would rather like to go in details. What do you think about the survey profession? Because nowadays there is a hue and cry in the market that the survey profession will be under threat. But what would be your opinion in this regard? Now, regarding the AI, some companies are already, I would rather say some private companies are already saying that we are using digital platform or AI to settle the claims. But our market experience is that there are no such AI being used. It is only some digital things which are doing. They are providing a link to the customer or the repairer or any other workshop, and they are only taking the photographs to the link to the app, and they are settling the claim on the basis of that. Now, in this, there are a lot of things which are not shown to the insurance company. Now, if these things are being used, even if artificial intelligence is being used, there will be a lot of things that would be not shown to the insurer. So, in my opinion, there will always be the requirement of physical involvement or human involvement. What do you think? And please clarify.
Tanmay, you are asking it in the Indian context or the Western context?
In the Indian context.
Indian context, I think I can answer it very easily, because as far as the Indian companies preparedness are concerned, nobody is AI enabled. Whatever these companies are using, they're basically some digital platform and maybe some extra devices that is capturing some data and for imaginary things. Maybe some companies are using the satellites and some especially programmed drones to capture the photos at some the difficult areas. But at the same time, because these are the thing, the first and foremost thing is that there has to always a good coordination between the humans and the machines. AI-enabled thing can give you a more accurate pictures, more accurate analysis, more accurate data. But end of the day, this is the we have to always apply your mind. This is the human, because once I get this data, say for example earlier I may not have that access to my data. Like now I get some data which is more accurate, more precise. But ultimately I have to take a decision whether based on this data I take this claim, I accept this to this. To my decision-making abilities. So it is always that. So if somebody says, "Oh, in the going forward there'll be no need of surveyors," that I don't think they're telling the right way, or even in the next 20 years, next 10, 15 years time.
Sir, if I may add to what Mr. Sarkar was asking, you see, the fact remains, Mr. Sarkar, that the profession of the surveyors will always be there for the simple reason that the insurer and the insured are the two parties to the contract. Now, when it actually comes to a payment or a claim, we have to have a third party involvement.
Yes, basically it's a third party validation.
As for the guidelines, regulations, there always will be a surveyor. Now, there is a probability that probably a private company could name it as their own employee. B private company could say, no, I will rename it this character. But the fact that will always be there.
I do agree, sir. I do agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. This is because the surveyors are basically a third party and they are basically validating a claim. So my assessment may be very accurate, but customer can always put objection. This is a one-sided game. You have a partial thing. So there is a third-party platform, and they said yes, we are the licensed surveyors, and we, based on both sides, your submission and the insurance company assessment, we are vetting this portion. So that the role cannot be redundant. Even if we have all the
yes, because you cannot have a situation that the whole surveyor will not be required. It will definitely, it is an important intermediary, it will be required. Just maybe in some parts, AI technology may help the insurance companies to maybe process a bit faster, but end of the day, I think it would be required.
Absolutely.
No, and at the same time, maybe AI will enable me some certain other advantages. Like any fraudulent thing can be detected, can be removed. Maybe we have a more accurate assessment of the loss. Maybe, sometimes, because some of the extra hazardous factories, if there is a fire and some others, calamities where the service cannot reach, at least a drone can go take these photos and get this thing. Then it can be analyzed by the surveyor sitting in the zone. So these will be basically AI will enable us getting some additional information. But the decision-making role will always remain with us. The surveyors and the insurance company officials and all that. So we cannot say that, yes. I mean,
Mr. Farid, would you like to ask something? Mr. Farid is from Bangladesh.
Hi.
Hi, hello. How are you?
Yeah,
fine.
Have any?
Kaman achen Farid bhai?
Yeah. How things are developing in Bangladesh?
Okay. Nice to see you, and I am very much delighted to have a session like this. And I believe that it will help us a lot in the future in the insurance industry. As far as I am from the insurance background, your lecture today is very excellent and it's a more educative to me. And I have learned a lot from your lecture. And as because of Ramadan, a few time later, I will have to go for iftar. So I only appreciate you, but not asking any questions today. Inshallah, in the future to come, I will be able to meet with you online. And if I get the chance to ask you questions, then I will be happy to learn from you more again and again. Thank you very much for your nice educative approach today.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Any more questions if we have? Devanand ji, कैसे हैं?
Sir, I'm excellent. Thank you. I was very late to join the meeting. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Hello.
So if we have any more questions.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I am Tathagata Karmakar. Actually, I am working in this machine learning and data science domain in manufacturing sector.
Great,
so just joined these sessions to how the insurance market is working to understand. So basically, I want to say that why not you are thinking on the prescriptive analytics, means why I'm saying this. Everyone is talking on the predictive analytics, means you have some inputs, you are getting single output. Like if we go to the doctor will see some of the prescriptions and he will tell that you have this disease, and then he will give some recommendations. The recommendations is basically comes to as a prescriptions. So why not mean as an insurance market, in actually in manufacturing sector we are doing it like a prescriptive analytics. Why not insurance market cannot think about that prescriptive, means if you need, say for example, the customer need, okay, I want my premium to be such lesser. So if that condition has been put it into the input, so the output will say multiple number of output will be there, which will be characterized is what you need to do yourself or what you need to change. So in the predictive analytics is a one output, and prescriptive will be having a multiple output. I think that point you can consider. I think that will be helpful. I think.
Yes, yeah. Thank you, Tathagata. What I can tell you, because in India we are really at a very nascent stage, because all the if you see our top PSU companies, they don't have any proper vision for AI-enabled services in the near future. Because my interaction with all these people, I came to know. So whatever we are actually, in fact, my presentation is based on the activities done in the Western countries. So I've just studied a couple of management reports and consulting reports, and that's there. So I don't think in India, in Indian scenario, any Indian companies have engaged such of these type of activities as on date. Maybe maybe in the next couple of years' time. So whatever the suggestions you can always put to us. I mean, you can always maybe you engage with insurance companies, Indian insurance companies, and give your suggestions. And since you are a technical expert in this field, so we can add some value also to them. Maybe you can drop an email to me. What are your suggestions?
And definitely you
can
write
just
something
drop
on
an
it.
email to me. Yeah.
Or maybe you can write something on it. We always encourage discussion on new issues. What can be the future issue or what can be done? So we can start a discussion on that also. What could be the
Yes. Maybe Maybe Rakesh ji, you can introduce one more session where maybe the new initiatives, and which is actually basically considering the Indian market scenario. Like what are the because if you compare the New India assurance with Swiss Re, you'll have hell and heaven difference, because they are two at a very different preparation mode. So what we can do, we can have exclusive sessions on the Indian companies' preparedness and what are their vision for adopting this AI-enabled services in the next 5 years' time. And then maybe we can engage and we can see like a person like Tathagata, who is the technical expert. He can give more such suggestions, which can be, cost, because at the same time, we have to also think of costs. Because all these, companies, Swiss Re, Munich Re, they have invested huge amount of money, which this Indian insurers may not, cannot afford to do at this moment, and it may not be relevant for their type of activities as well. So we need to, balancing out, but any initiative can be taken under the aegis of RMI, and we can take
No,
it
definitely.
because I interact quite often with the insurance companies. So any such time I can go have a discussions, share their ideas. So yeah, that is fine. That can be done.
Definitely, our idea is to have a discussion forum also where we can
Yes.
discuss the new issues and
Yes,
have
yes,
a
yes.
resolution. It is not just one way affair that we want to have
No, 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 no.
a presentation and it works. So the
No,
whole
in fact,
idea is to have a yeah. Please.
I just told all of you at the beginning of my this discussion, this my presentation, that AI is such a vast subject. Then it will be actually endless discussion. Even you cannot just you can have more because once you discuss a particular module, that module may be redundant the next month. They have a new upgraded versions, the new capabilities, new enhancements. So this thing will is a very dynamic because you cannot have a 1 hour session for this discussion to end. And
Mr. Afjal,
yes,
what is the scenario in Saudi in terms of AI implementation? If you are there.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. In
How is
Saudi Arabia,
how is
we
the AI
see,
implementation in Saudi or in companies in Saudi
actually,
Arabia?
Saudi Arabia, we have not started yet AI
Not
implementation, but not yet started yet. But the claim settlements, especially in motor and other claims, they are very systematic, very organized. You know, the demo also, the population is very less here, so it's not a big this thing, issue for this settlements. Very organized. But artificial intelligence, still they are working on it.
So the companies have started using it, using the technology in their day-to-day processes, or they are in the process?
They started, but it is just in initial state. They are not in the advanced stage. Just they are doing now. Recently they started because before we didn't have any regulation, insurance regulator. It was tie up with a banking regulator, but now they separated. Now we have IA, Insurance Authority, which is exclusive for the insurance. Okay, so they are working on it. Saudi Arabia, they are working on it now. Earlier it was under SAMA.
Okay. No, I'd request everyone to share their experience also, so they can always email us as our email ID would be there. So you can always email your experience or any new thing you want to represent or the industry should adopt. So we are always there to raise up new issues and have a discussion on it. So I think we are at the end of the session. Any more questions? So otherwise we will close the session.
Rakeshji, my one thing is anybody from Nepal Insurance? You told me somebody will be joining from Nepal.
Nepal, I don't think right now we have anyone.
Actually, since Nepal is a very earthquake prone thing, and a lot of incidences are there, so we can design some specific earthquake disk modeling with the help of these AI enabled services, and you can see the data and how we can in fact design a reinsurance product for them. So that is
Definitely.
yes.
In fact,
So
Rakeshji, if you remember, our good friend Chanki Chetri is also the convener for all the Nepalese insurance companies. Maybe you could use that approach and
definitely
take over.
I think they are having a conference also in the month of August or September. I think on inclusive insurance, something like that. They are having.
Correct.
So
maybe you can invite them
Prateek ji has been very supportive for us in our all endeavors. So we always look forward to him.
I am the fan of Insurance Times since 1989. When I had sent my first article, it was a mail to the editor actually on section 64 BB, and I was posted in Guwahati at that time. So since then, of course, we have been following Insurance Times, and thanks to you and RMAI that finally now it is taking such a shape that even after 1.5 hours of discussion, we still have at least 15-18 people listening to the entire discussion.
Yeah, no, that's true. No, actually, and I think the portal Bima Bazaar that we are relaunching. So our idea again is to have more experience-based learning from people from the industry. So once that happens, once people interact, the problem is in India we have a lot of people we have a lot of one-way interaction. So maybe 10 people are talking and everyone is listening. We don't have a system where we have exchange of knowledge. And in most of the big seminars, you will see they don't interact. Everywhere there is one-way communication. So that is the biggest challenge, I think.
It's everywhere, Rakeshji, not only in India, across the world. That's human tendency.
No, actually, sometimes what happens is, the participants may not get fully engaged. Like they think it's maybe the presentation was not that attractive. They think, oh, it's a.
No. Interaction is the key. Maybe we can
Yeah,
start with
interaction is
the
the key
presentation.
because,
End of the day, interaction is important.
yeah.
So I think time is running out, so we will have to end the session. So again, thank you, Mr. Roy, for an excellent session and good interaction. And I'd like to call you again if we receive any feedback or any new topic. And we'd like
Yes.
to thank all participants who came, I think, who are still there and all who were there till
Yes.
with us till now. So we'll be again coming back maybe in one more edition, more session on maybe some risk related topic. So maybe we'll be having our next session in this month of April only. So we'd happy if you will also suggest, if you can also suggest any topic you'd like to hear from us. So
In fact,
thank you everyone.
I just suggest you, Rakesh ji, because the currently India is booming with infrastructure projects. Almost $5 trillion, I think, investment is there in the next 5 years' time. So why not to arrange a very specific session on infrastructure insurance, particularly when this wordings and tariffs are withdrawn. So it will be very important that we have and these are all big size projects, 10,000 crores, 15,000 crores. So usually all these construction, all these policies and other areas are there. So you can have
Maybe
a
we'll be having
session.
one session from Pratik ji.
Sir, I'm ready, sir. As you let me know, I'll be there, sir.
Sir, please let me know the topic. We will be happy to arrange the next session.
Done, sir. I'll let you know.
So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you all participants. Thank you.
Thank you. We
Thank
meet
you.
again.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez.